guys, Carrie from Carrie Buys Houses, and today we're going to talk about the difference between traditional sellers and motivated sellers and why one will make you very rich and one will waste your time. So when I first started out in real estate investing, I thought that when you invest in real estate, you hire a realtor to go on the MLS to find you all these amazing deals on the MLS. They bring them to you, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I buy the houses. I'm now a real estate investor. Now that is one way of investing in real estate, but the way that we invest in real estate is we buy off-market properties and we're contacting the homeowners directly, so we're not using a realtor to go onto the MLS. These are off-market properties and we're dealing with the homeowners directly. But not only that, we are marketing to motivated sellers versus traditional sellers. Okay, so what is a traditional seller? A traditional seller is typically a seller who contacts a realtor, who puts their house up on the multiple listing service and gets it out there into the world with a realtor. Because they're not, yes, they're motivated to sell, but they don't have to sell quickly, or they don't have to sell as is, or, all the things that we list as benefits to the sellers that we work with, they don't fall under that category. Okay, so for instance, like me, if we were to sell this house right now, I would probably contact one of my realtor friends and they would get it up on the MLS for me. And yeah, I'm motivated to sell it because I want to sell it, but there's no motivating factor where I have to sell this house, right? I can sit on it, I can get my price for it if I wait, right? I'm not selling this house discounted because I'm not motivated to get rid of it quickly. Okay, so that's a traditional seller, which is why the way we invest in real estate, we don't go on the multiple listing service to find deals. Number one, if there's a deal on the MLS, guess who knows about it? Everyone! And when everyone knows about the hot deal on the MLS, what do you think happens? Everyone bids on that house, and what happens to the price of that house? It goes up until it's no longer a deal, right? So we don't go on the MLS to find deals. We find off-market properties and we deal with the sellers directly. And who else is why else don't we invest on the MLS? It's because most of the time those are traditional sellers. Those are sellers that are not motivated to sell their home. They want to sell their home, but they don't need to sell their home. Okay, so what's a motivated seller? So when I think about motivation levels, who would want to sell their house that's motivated to sell it? How about someone like a tired landlord who just evicted a tenant? How about someone going through a divorce? Someone who inherited the house and they have no desire to own that house? How about someone who has code enforcement liens or they have delinquent taxes on their property? Right? Those are motivated sellers. And guess what, you guys? A motivated seller is not calling to the world saying, I'm motivated, come find me, right? It's our job to market to them, right? It's our job to reach out to them sometimes because they are not screaming at the top of the world, hey, I'm motivated, investors, come find me. Okay, so we have to find them. So we do all these great marketing techniques to find motivated sellers who need to sell quickly. Now, when I think about motivation too, I also think about motivation buckets. Because sometimes I have a homeowner who's motivated for just one reason, right? I got a job transfer and I need to be out of here in 30 days and I need to sell this house quickly. The house doesn't need any work. It's not in foreclosure. There's no code enforcement liens. It's just that the seller has to move quickly, right? So that's their motivation. It's just they need a quick sale. Versus another seller. For instance, I worked with a woman who She was defaulted on her mortgage. She was underwater, so the house was worth, she owed more than what the house was worth. It was not such a great area. It was vacant. It needed tons of repairs. She had code enforcement liens on it because she should have replaced the roof years ago. This was a really distressed situation. So she was very, very motivated to work with us because there were so many things going on with this house. I really had to get creative to figure out how to make this deal work for the lender who, had defaulted payments going towards him, for the seller who wasn't living in the house and was underwater on the house, for, the city who had the code enforcement liens on it. There were all kinds of people we had to work with when it came to this property. But she came to us because she understands that we work with motivated sellers, and she knew she was a distressed seller, that this was not a traditional sale and that a typical, your average realtor wouldn't know what to do with that kind of a house. Okay, so that is the biggest difference between traditional and motivated, is that the motivated sellers, they fall into some of these motivation buckets that put them in a category where we would do business with them, right? We're not going to do business with everyone. Just like Nike, when Nike advertises their products, they don't go into nursing homes to do it, right? That's not who they're working with. Like, nursing homes for Nike is like us with traditional homeowners or traditional sellers, if that makes sense. Like, that's not who we're marketing to. That's not who we're working with. And we don't buy houses typically from traditional sellers that want to get full price for their house and that are not motivated. They want to sell their house, but they don't have to sell their house. Okay, so I hope you guys all learned the difference. It's a huge difference between traditional and motivated, and why we market to only motivated sellers. And we leave the traditional sellers for the real estate agents, right? That's who they're marketing to. Okay? So that's it for today, you guys. If you know anyone that needs to sell their property, give us a call. Go to carriebuysHouses.com. All of our contact information is there. And if you have a deal that you're working on that you want to potentially joint venture with me on, please give me a call today. I'd be happy to help you out with the deal, take a look at it together. All right, that's it. See you guys on the next video.